Hi everybody, I'm Dan Joseph with MRC-TV, and this is the Week in Liberalism for the week of Monday, February 15th, 2016. Monday. So this week we're mourning the loss of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, who many believe was one of the greatest legal minds of the last century. He's also largely credited with helping to guide the court back to treating the Constitution as, a thing that actually meant what it said. So most Americans were very saddened by the fact that we lost somebody who dedicated their life to public service. That is, with the exception of some liberals who believe that Antonin Scalia was Satan. Here are some of the ways in which people who are well known in liberal circles chose to honor the dead. Don't even try to enforce the inapplicable "don't speak ill of the dead" rule for the highly polarizing, deeply consequential Antonin Scalia. I hope Scalia died from gay sex. Funny, I actually support Scalia on this one. That guy actually has his own comedy special on Netflix. Maybe you should give Netflix a call. Hope Scalia is in a place as f***ed up as he tried to make our country, wrote another comedian. Man, they are just full of laughs, aren't they? Dedicating the rest of this weekend's marital sodomy to the memory of Antonin Scalia. That was written by Dan Savage, who actually has a show based on his life on ABC. Maybe you should give them a call. BuzzFeed's Rachel Zerrell just tweeted out an emoji of a party hat. But that's BuzzFeed. Emojis are basically the only language that their readers understand. I hope that in his death throes, Scalia was cognizant enough to realize that Obama was going to be the one to replace him. Yeah, good luck with that. And John Fugelsang wrote, "Sad for the loss of Scalia, happy for the lives that will be saved by the new 5-4 majority." Now, conservatives, just let that one sink in for a second. Now, is it just me, or did all of these comedians just prove themselves to be human beings who are just as despicable as they thought Antonin Scalia was? But even if you're not a celebrity, this is an important thing for all conservatives to remember. When a liberal political figure who you may have disagreed with or even despised passes away, use these tweets as an example of what not to do. We're better than that. Tuesday. On Tuesday, the media gods blessed us with this soundbite from Hillary Clinton.
You can get that dog and follow him around, and every time they say these things, like, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation,
Thank you. You know that something is going to live on for a long time as a staple of political mockery when it's immediately remixed. Who let the dogs out? Now, why was Hillary barking? No, the mailman wasn't delivering her a subpoena. She was telling a story about an ad that her husband's campaign came up with while he was running for governor of Arkansas. The ad featured a dog that would bark every time they claimed the Republicans were lying about Clinton's record. Here at MRC, our mascot is actually a bulldog named Gipper. He's very quiet though. He lost his voice years ago when Bill and Hillary Clinton came onto the national political scene. Poor guy. Speaking of the Clintons' time in Arkansas, I swear I am not making this up. A former Miss Arkansas has alleged that she had an affair with then Governor Clinton that lasted for 3 months. And during one of their rendezvous, he put on her frilly nightie and danced around playing the sax. Wow. That is quite a visual. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go pour some of this bleach into my eyes. Oh, that's much better.
Wednesday. The funeral for Justice Scalia will be held this Saturday, but President Obama will not be there. This will make him the first president to skip the funeral of a sitting Supreme Court justice since at least 1953, and possibly even before that. It's true that sitting presidents have skipped some of the funerals of justices who retired prior to their deaths, but this is the first time in recorded history that a president missed the service for a sitting justice. He's sending Biden instead. I'm guessing he'll give him a Game Boy or something to keep him from getting bored. But the real question, and one that was posed to White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest on Wednesday, was what exactly is it that Obama would be doing instead of going to the funeral of a sitting Supreme Court justice? Really, I have no idea. It's totally unfair to speculate about something like this. Look, I'm sure that if anyone had asked Josh Earnest whether Obama was going to be hitting the links instead of honoring a Supreme Court justice who the president can't seem to shut up about replacing, he would have replied with an emphatic absolutely not.
Can you rule out him going golfing on Saturday instead of the funeral?
I don't have a sense of what the president's plans are for Saturday. The president obviously believes it's important.
What the All right, let's be perfectly clear here. It is the White House press secretary's job to know exactly where the president is going to be and when he is going to be there, who he will be with, and why he will be doing whatever the hell it is that he does when he gets to wherever it is that he's going. So either Josh Earnest totally sucks at his job, or the president is going to be doing something during that funeral that he does not want the American people to know about. So let's just do a quick rundown of the things President Obama likes doing when he's not representing the United States in his official capacity. There's golf and bashing Republicans. And he's been bashing Republicans for saying they aren't going to let him replace Scalia all week and must be exhausted. So, by process of elimination, why don't you just nominate your caddy to replace Scalia? At this point, he'd have as much of a chance of getting through as anyone else you nominate. Honestly, the only way that Obama could be more disrespectful to the memory of Justice Scalia is if he actually went to the funeral and announced who he was going to try to replace him with there. Thursday. So Thursday began with Republican frontrunner Donald Trump getting into a fight with the Pope. Okay, you know what? We're just going to forget about Thursday. Friday. Oh, thank God. Beyonce Knowles, who celebrated the Black Panther Party, a racist group of cop killers, in her Super Bowl halftime performance, because where else would you do something like that, is learning that her next series of concerts may start getting a bit more rowdy. Members of the Miami Fraternal Order of Police have voted unanimously to call for a full police boycott when it comes to providing law enforcement protection at her shows. In fact, sheriffs and other law enforcement around the country are considering doing so as well. Why? Because police everywhere are rightfully upset with Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime performance, which they see as having been anti-police. Which it was, with dancers openly sporting Black Panther uniforms and pushing all other sorts of staples of the black grievance industry. But guys, come on. Lay off Beyonce. Beyonce is dumb as dirt. She's a high school dropout who named her baby after a plant. The chances that she knows who Huey Newton is, or that he murdered a cop, or that the Black Panthers were communists who engaged in drug dealing and pimping are about as likely as me buying any of her music. She probably thinks that Huey Newton is the guy who sang the song The Power of Love. Beyonce Knowles is what you call a useful idiot. And useful idiots help Black Lives Matter stay alive despite the fact that the whole movement was created based on an incident that never actually happened. But the people around her tell her, hey, do this and you'll be making a great statement about civil rights and racial injustice. And since the Panthers are actually playing in the game, the team's fans will love it. And Beyonce's all like, okay, that sounds great. Do I have to wear clothes? No? Yay! The Super Bowl is like the one day of the year when 100 million Americans can come together, put politics aside, and enjoy what is actually one of the most racially diverse sports in the world. Plus, I don't think Beyonce would like to see what happens if she replaced the police who protect her and her fans at her concert with members of the Black Panther Party. I just hope that no one is influenced by these ignorant efforts to revitalize the violent Black Power movement of the 1960s. Aw, man, come on. I'm Dan Joseph, and this has been the Week in Liberalism for the week of Monday, February 15th, 2016. Have a great weekend, everybody.